And welcome to Techquila, the podcast where we talk tech while taking shots of tequila every 10 minutes. I'm your host, Alex Cohen. With me today is your co-hosts, Eric Shulkin and Daniel Regera. Today, joining us is me, Alex Cohen. I will be drinking bourbon.
Drinking bourbon? Get the fuck out of here. This is not bourbon.
Hey, it's Eric. A seamless intro as always.
Happy to help.
What kind of bourbon are you drinking, Alex?
It's Bullet, the one and only. I'm gonna stop this voice. Actually, I'm gonna stop doing this.
Bullet. I actually fucking hate bourbon, but Bullet does a good rye, and I like the rye a lot.
They do, but I'm not drinking why. I'm not drinking rye today. The bottle is actually pretty.
I like the bottle.
Yeah, they're nice. They have the extruded glass lettering, which is nice.
Is that embossing, or is that embossing down?
Well, it's not down. It is embossing, but I wonder if it's called embossing when it's on glass.
It's definitely not. I just like using print terms for other things. Eric, what you drinking?
Herradura.
This is why we have you on, for that moment.
What do you mean we? We're having you on. What are you talking about?
Eric is a guest today. Eric, thank you for coming on, Eric. Appreciate that.
The power dynamics, they've shifted.
Good to see you again, Eric. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Well, the edits are going to be completely red and drenched in sweat. I hope you're okay with that.
That's my entire life.
Already there.
I'm drinking. Okay, so last time, if you guys listened and or watched to the episode, last time I was drinking this garbage tequila that Eric and I bought when we were together for the episode before that. It's called that garbage one is called Corazón de Agave, like just named after what tequila is made of. It would be like if I named my rum molasses, like it's just like, but
molasses compost.
It was really bad, and last episode I actively gagged on it in one shot, so I decided to treat myself today, and I got, you guys might have heard of it. I got Casamigos, the one that George Clooney made.
I've seen those. They look like small batch, and they look very artisanal.
Yeah, I'm excited to have it. I have not had it. He actually just sold the company to who did he sell it to? I forget who he sold it to, but he sold it for about $1 billion, maybe more, I think.
I think we should institute a rule. Every time you take a shot, you have to say one memorable George Clooney quote.
What quote?
I don't know. Something. The rule is open to interpretation, but
it has to be George Clooney related.
Definitely.
Or related to the name George, maybe.
There you go. Curious George. I could say something about George Washington. I could say.
How about this? Name one famous George from pop culture or history, and tell us a little bit about that George. How about that?
Okay, let's start with that.
How about that, Dan?
All right.
Just Dan has to do that. But
that's only me.
But what if I want to be part of that moment?
Well, I mean, you're the co-host. So.
It's true. My call. The shot's on me.
Okay, I'm going to get the timer ready. We're going to start this retarded banter, and we're going to take the fucking shot.
Our word.
That's right.
We're PC here.
Are we, though?
Yeah. No, we're not.
We're in the post-PC era, Eric.
That's right.
Okay, cheers, people.
Gentani. Oh, that's actually really smooth. Wow.
Oh, man.
I didn't need to. Wow, that's really smooth.
What'd you get again? Oh, you got the bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah. But it's Bullet. It's really
I fucking
nice.
hate bourbon. I can't.
I can't do tequila. I mean, that's how I feel about tequila.
That's fair. This tequila's really good, y'all. This Casamigos is, man,
Is it the first time you're having it right now?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
That is good.
How about one George?
One George. Does my Uncle Jorge count? He says George in English.
That's who I want to know about.
Wait, what if we said Jesus? Would Jesus count?
No.
Yes.
Why? There you go.
Wait, I have to say something about my uncle. He is a man that is...
Wow, you really pulled that one out of nowhere. He is a human cis male.
My uncle... He's actually gay, so no.
I was. That's dope. That was wrong. That's even better.
He's a gay male who has been like my third father? No, my third parent's second father.
But actually, technically, you would still be cis if you agree, like your gender conforms to what you.
Oh, you were correct.
Well, shouts to Jorge.
Anyway, okay, let's hit the
there.
ground running here, y'all.
Yeah.
So
What's
Eric,
first?
you wanted to talk about this Hyperloop, this Elon Musk Hyperloop.
So Elon Musk, do we know him, guys?
He's a guy that does things.
Never heard of him before.
Who's Elon Musk?
It sounds like a cologne.
Doesn't it? Yeah, not just because of the Musk part, but like just Elon by itself, like Elon. And like I don't know, like Johnny
from Armani.
Johnny Depp's like in the commercial or something like that. I don't know. So anyway, Elon Musk is the billionaire industrialist, electrical engineer, Tony Stark facsimile. That
Look at you using the word facsimile.
Is it pronounced facsimile?
Alternative.
Hey, how about I continue? How about I continue? You stop. How about that? And Wednesday morning, he set the tech community, not just the tech community, the internet, abuzz. It was buzzing.
A buzz
at a tweet that he sent, which I will now read back to all of us. Oh no, I'm sorry. Thursday morning, yesterday morning. Today's Friday, July 21st. Quote from Mr. Musk. Just received verbal government approval for the Boring Company, the name of his company, to build an underground New York, Philly, Baltimore, D.C. Hyperloop. Period.
Oh, shit.
New York, D.C. in 29 minutes.
Whoa.
Quick.
That's crazy.
Quick follow-up tweet. City center to city center in each case, with up to a dozen or more entry-exit elevators in each city. So a few things to dissect here.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? But let's break this down.
Okay.
What does verbal government approval mean exactly?
That means
That's
some people were like, "Yeah, sure." That's all they said.
And
he wouldn't tweet about it so publicly as a public figure if it didn't have some credence.
So, would you say our current government administration is trustworthy, and we could take them at their word?
Wait. He specifically was talking about the federal government or like local governments?
It's a good question.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that is a barrier to this Hyperloop. Not only will Mr. Musk, Elon to his friends, need federal government backing, but if you're running an underground Hyperloop tunnel into city centers, like he's claiming that he wants to do,
right,
you're going to need local government approval as well. So, like, of course, the main question, and usually I don't do this, but I looked at his mentions after saying this. Some interesting responses, but some great gifs as well. The overwhelming reply and question seems to be like, whose verbal approval did you get? Like, and what does verbal government approval mean? And like, was it Jared Kushner who said this? You know, like, who told you this was okay? And the story here, in brief, is that it seems like, judging off of Elon's own replies to other people's questions, is that he's not actually very far along in this. It's still very much in the pre-planning stage. I don't want to make this be like me just reading off this guy's tweets, but he follow-ups by saying verbal approval was at federal level, still a lot of work before formal written approval, but this opens door for state and city discussions. Oh, okay, so now we're at discussions. If you want this to happen fast, please let your local and federal elected representative know. Makes a big difference if they hear from you. Now he's giving us homework. Okay, this seems like a done deal. Sorry. And someone asks, Dan, this is relevant to you. City of Chicago already approached us about doing a high-speed tunnel from O'Hare Airport to downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Been great. Period. That's all he says. Okay, what does that mean? Thanks. And there's one more. He gave one more reply that I wanted to.
Wait, O'Hare. Wait, downtown Chicago to O'Hare. How long would that take? Like 1 minute?
Yeah, that would be like 30 seconds.
Like 1 minute, 30 seconds. So, like, the best part is, like, this journalist from the BBC replies to him, to the initial tweet, and says, verbal, not on the dotted line, seems premature to announce unless you're drumming up support for the project, which just, like, seems like what he's doing. Alon's reply, support would be much appreciated! Exclamation point.
Yeah. Okay.
So I say I have dictated all of these tweets to say we're not as far as how it initially sounded when I first read the news and all of your first impressions, right? Alex, you said, whoa. It seems like it's not quite there yet.
No, it's not.
But maybe it could mean something. And the question I want to pose to you guys, maybe that we could talk about, is like, what's a hyperloop and like how dope is it?
So here's the take of if you ask either of us, it'd be the take of a designer. I was gonna say here's the take of a designer. From what I understand, it uses magnetism to like carry like a train or something that like would be like a train and shoot something down, accelerating at a really fast rate. Like
is this anything like a Japanese bullet train?
Yeah, except because it is in a like stable circle, it can go faster and faster without it kind of like shooting off the rails. That's what effectively what it is. It's like a railgun. It's a fucking railgun.
The first one was being discussed going from like San Francisco to LA, I thought.
Yes, that was one of the first ones.
Right. So, like, which is he going to get done first? The Chicago one, the LA one, or this one? That's never going to happen.
I mean, I think the California one has been in discussion for a long time now. Hopefully will get done first.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, that was probably one of the first ones. Considering I think he was going from Nevada to like LA or something when he had the brilliant idea.
Nevada to LA? That's a weird. That's like not like a constantly traveled.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, it is if you're going from Vegas to LA.
Is it?
Score.
More than like SF to LA?
I don't know. I don't know the West Coast. All I'm saying is he was going from Nevada to LA when he was thinking about it because that's Nevada's where the Gigafactory is. He was driving.
That must be why.
He was driving to SpaceX or something.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know. I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention. Like I said, people were abuzz. So maybe he's just full of shit.
Well, it sounds like it's like a marketing ploy.
Yeah,
trying to get
he's
people.
very what a lot of people describe him as, which is very true. Is like Barnum and Bailey, right? He's very like it's like Steve Jobs plus a show. It's very like aspirational. You know what I mean? Like he's very like this is the world of tomorrow. Like,
and I'm sure a lot of people are being like, hey, how about you like finish production on the fucking Model 3 first before you.
Which
or how about you land like 2 SpaceX rockets successfully in a row? How about that?
I think that's happened already.
Okay, 3 then.
Also, side note, something that I wanted to include, but we just don't have the space. The first Model 3 came off the production line 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, a week ago. I'll double check.
Will his supply ever meet demand?
I don't think that matters. Does the Switch supply ever meet demand? No,
do not equate. Really? One is a car, another is a handheld entertainment device.
Hey, man. Demand is demand. Supply is supply.
Guns and butter.
One word. Beanie Babies.
Podcast.
Beanie Babies. There it is.
Supply pod.
I believe it's shot time.
Shot time. You know what? That's great because I was done talking about that.
Appropriate. And
finally, he shuts the fuck up. God.
Yeah. That guy. Oh, it's me. Never mind.
Okay. We're just going to pretend that Alex is drinking Reposado so that way he sticks to the theme.
Memes. I'll drink to themes.
Memes.
2 memes. Shut. Oh, baby. Oh, that's actually really good. Oh, the finish is so good.
Is it really good?
It's pretty fucking good. I don't know if it warrants like about $40 a bottle. I think it was about 40 when I bought it.
Probably warrants $50.
You know what? That's like the limit of what I feel comfortable spending. So,
yeah, same.
Yep, try it next time.
I want the lower limit for what I can look comfortable spending. I don't know why.
Who's us?
Says the guy who has Bullet Bourbon, which is like $20 or $17.
It was a joke. That was just a joke. Sorry, guys.
Okay, look, you have AirPods in your ear. I took you seriously. Okay.
Funny, the reaction for me is the opposite.
Wait, what was your reaction?
No, meaning like I meant like if I see someone with AirPods like talking, like I'm not listening to what they're saying or taking. But maybe that was an issue. For the audio listeners, Alex and I just finger pointed at each other in knowing fashion.
Okay, so
next time.
Definitely wanted to talk about there was and this fits into like all the phones leaking, but I wanted to, what seemed to be popular around the internet was the Pixel 2 XL leaked with like 9 out of 10 a surety of what it would look like from Android Police, and I think it's fucking beautiful, and I wanted to compare it to the iPhone and Samsung Note 8 leaks.
What does the Apple iPhone leak look like?
Ooh, I will show you. I will link you now, my friend.
Can we show it to the... No, we can't share a screen, can we?
No, but I'll link him. Alex, if you look at Zencaster, I'll link you there. So, we throw around these topics on our subreddit, actually. For those of you who read it, it's r/Techquila. Feel free to shoot around there.
We're posting a lot of topics on there. A lot of interesting...
Well, just to gauge interest from people.
Some polite community feedback so far. I mean, they're not kicking our door down yet. We just started, but what I've seen that's not you or me has been polite so far. Are your friends on there or something like that?
I have a couple of my friends coming through, yeah.
Every so often someone comments on there.
Okay, Alex, just for you, Mr. iOS user, I will link the iPhone 8 first. There, I linked the iPhone 8 leak. Okay. And then...
It's loading.
And then here is the...
Oh, whoa.
Pixel 1. So the iPhone 8 one...
So let's describe what we're seeing here.
Yeah. So the Pixel 2, what's weird is that it probably will only apply to the XL model, whereas the smaller model will only get an incremental update to the previous one, but design-wise it'll look identical to the Pixel. But the Pixel 2 XL, the big one, is the one that's getting a really slick redesign. It has an aspect ratio of I believe it's 2.5 to 1. It's 18 and a half to 9, whatever that is divided by 9. And what's interesting is it still has the glass on the back like the current Pixel, but a lot of the complaints are that the glass takes up too much of the back, so the glass is moved up on it. Camera is supposed to be rumored to be a lot better than last year's model, so it's going to be a killer camera. Fingerprint scanner, same spot. Basically, everything more or less looks the same, except now there's a bezel to bezel screen that has the new aspect ratio that the Samsung S8 and the LG G6 have, which is like that really tall aspect ratio. It looks slick. It looks nice. Last year's the first model of the Pixel was kind of boring. It kind of just ripped off things from the Nexus line and the iPhone and just looked kind of apparently it's a great phone, but it doesn't look that great. It's not that inspiring in terms of its design, its industrial design.
Right.
And so they're clearly trying to make the Pixel series look new, look like they can actually compete with Samsung and Apple in terms of industrial design and something that looks sexy. So that's dope. My one qualm is that it's made by LG, and LG has been fucking up lately. And then the smaller one apparently is going to be made by HTC again, the Pixel, the the first Pixel models, the regular and the XL.
Oh, you know what? This is actually my first time seeing the iPhone 8. The iPhone 8.
Yeah, so we can move on to that.
Yeah.
The iPhone. So what is rumored and highly likely to happen is that Apple will release a 7S and a 7S Plus that will likely look identical to the 7, and then just have like small incremental updates in them. And then they'll have this new, what everyone is calling the iPhone 8, but they'll likely call the Pro or the iPhone Edition. And it's rumored to be released after the iPhone 7S in terms of like when you can buy it. It is going to have a like edge-to-edge display like the LG G6, but not a curved display like the Samsung S8 and the Pixel XL. Same thing. It's not curved, but it's just edge-to-edge display. They're doing a full-screen display though, and doing away with the actual home button on this one, and instead it's an on-screen button. And apparently that's going to be like an active area for you to do things, not just the home button. Like they'll have other things on the side of the home button, or like if you're playing music, it might have the music on the bottom, etc. And the ultimate question, we can talk about the design now because I have feelings about it, but the ultimate question that everyone's asking themselves that is not sure is whether, and apparently Samsung is trying to race against Apple on this one. But
didn't they already win?
No,
with
not
the
in
S8?
not in what I'm about to say. I'm talking about the Note 8. The Note 8 and this iPhone are trying to meet, or are trying to put the fingerprint scanner under the screen, like where the home button would be on the iPhone. But in terms of where the technology is right now, it's highly unlikely that if either Apple or Samsung pull it off, it would be like fucking crazy. And if they pull it off to like their standards, especially Apple's Touch ID standard, like if they pull it off to that standard by the end of the year or by the beginning of next year, that would be really impressive. But most people who know their shit are saying that neither of them are going to be able to accomplish that, at least not within like the next year or two. And so people are starting to speculate where the Touch ID on this new, more expensive $1,100 iPhone starting price is going to be at.
What?
Yeah, it's that much. So the other, like the iPhone 7S and the iPhone 7S Plus are going to be like normal priced iPhones, and then this one's going to be like the premium iPhone, where they have like wireless charging and bezel-less display. So if they can't put the fingerprint scanner under where it normally is, where the home button is, people were speculating that it was going to be like where it is on the Pixel, but that has been almost disproven. So the options are this: it's either they somehow fucking crank out this, read through to display fingerprint technology. They either put it on the back where other companies have put it, like the Nexus and Pixel lines, or, and this is the one I think personally is most likely, they put it on the power button, like the switch.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at this iPhone 8 mock-up, the power button is a little bit longer than the current iPhones.
Alex, what are your first impressions of it? Just looking at this rendering here. Yeah, design, visually.
I mean, the one thing that kind of bothers me, I'm not looking at it right now, but from what I saw like 2 minutes, let me click it again, was the little thing at the top, the little area for
that's
the camera.
What I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay. So Alex, imagine that on a fucking white iPhone.
It looks super like out of place.
Yep.
Really bothersome. It like cheapens it 1,000%. It doesn't look like an Apple product anymore.
That's what I was gonna say. It's so unfucking Apple to do that. Like I really
it doesn't.
Hope they don't.
I honestly don't believe it. I don't think this is real. This feels like a Samsung product. Doesn't feel like an Apple product.
Ouch.
On that note, okay, so I agree with everything Alex said except for that last Samsung part, because Alex, click the link I just put in the Zencaster. Okay, look at this fucking Samsung Note 8 leak, because all these leaks are like pretty I wouldn't say confirmed, but they have a lot of credence at this point. So like out of these 3 phones, these 3 like premium market phones, the Note 8 looks leagues and bounds better than the other 2, in my opinion.
It does. It looks nice. It just looks huge.
The Note 8 is huge. That is the note.
Same with the Pixel.
I just can't get behind like phones that are this big. It's just never like my thumb can't even begin to reach anything at the top. Like a phone, I feel like at the very least you should be able to maneuver with one hand. I hate the ones where you have to like you're forced to use your two hands.
That's fair. I have a bigger phone and it's basically the same size as the Plus series of iPhones. Whoa, good timing.
Yeah, which I can't deal with either. I can't. They're way too big.
It's for me personally. This is on the upper verge, the upper edge of what is too big. Like anything bigger than this, and I would fucking hate it. But this is fine for me.
I can't go beyond 5. Honestly, 5-inch screen.
So like a
I don't want
size phone.
Yeah, I mean that used to be big though. Like.
Yep.
They used to be.
That was the whole thing.
It did indeed. So I don't know. Yeah, out of the 3 products, I think the most like Apple looking one to me, ironically, is the Samsung one.
Was not the Apple.
Yeah. I don't want to believe that Leak's design is actually an Apple.
I don't either, because that top little thingy it looks dumb. Like it looks so fucking stupid.
I really hope not. I really did. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, these like so. I am one of those nerds that keeps up with leaks every year on all these phones, and this is the design that has had the most, like the most pundits behind it that have like leaked the previous iPhone models. But we'll see.
That's what the pundits are saying. Anyway,
everyone trusts pundits, right?
That's right. They were.
I like your graduated cylinder shot glass.
You know where he
thank
got
you. That? The Chicago Museum of Science and Industry.
He had to read it.
I was like, is it science and industry? It's science and industry.
For real, shot. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's actually a great shot glass. I have this cheap-ass Sailor Jerry one. Ooh, this tequila is bold.
Bold. Oh, I love that word.
Anyway,
bold?
That's phone. Phone talk is over, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I apologize for my active lack of interest in phones. I've never really cared that much, and so I cannot force even if I'm trying.
Explain that. You mean like the design of phones? Or
no, I like phone design is cool in and of itself, like in a vacuum. But I feel like so much of phone culture right now is just like trying to it's like one-upsmanship, and it doesn't feel like general or like real desire to innovate or do something like
it's the epitome of like totally consumer electronic nerd shit.
So what do you think? Who was the last company to really innovate?
I mean,
phone design?
Oh god, are we gonna do this? We're gonna.
Why not? I don't want to get into this. I mean, like I thought the iPhone 1, the first one, was great. Like I think it did something that was like
the last one too, though. Like the last one to, like you're saying, like everything is one-upsmanship. Like, what was the last company or model to institute a core feature that you feel like has been adopted into the mainstream?
In a way that was like meaningful and I feel like is valuable. I mean, like besides.
Like fingerprint scanning.
I don't know.
That's about it.
I guess, but not even. That's like such a gimmick, though. You didn't need that. You have like an 8-digit code. You're good to go. You have like a weird like pattern on the thing.
Yeah,
you're good to
or
go.
like a password, and it's the same shit.
Like, I think that's a gimmick. Honestly, I think the smartphones since the iPhone haven't been interesting, like in terms of innovation.
Right. Because they're all just the same shit. It's just like faster and
faster. You're just making it slimmer and slimmer and bigger, and like. Whatever, like it's not doesn't
Which
really.
is a common complaint for me. Like, stop making it thinner and thinner. Keep it the same thickness. Give me more battery. Like, make it last longer. Give me a better like speakers. The iPhone. One thing I hate. Like, I like iOS a lot. I'm the type of like stupid nerd that wants both an Android phone and an iPhone just cause, and I want to switch back and forth on a whim. But the one thing I fucking hate about iPhones is that unlike my current phone, it doesn't have front-facing speakers. And it's one shitty mono speaker that fires on the fucking bottom. That's my only complaint, really. Anyway,
that's
just me being a ranty nerd. But even that is like me just being a fucking tech nerd. Like most people don't give a fuck.
No, but I mean, I see where you're coming from, and I think that's obviously something that's fixable. That's like not something that's out of reach of Apple or
Absolutely
anyone.
Not.
I just the whole phone world is doesn't do it for me.
That's fair.
Okay. Good talk, guys. Is it time for us to get into actually Ethereum, Alex? Do you wanna lead this discussion here?
Sure. I mean,
into cryptocurrency, something that's very relevant in today's world, the dark economy, the dark web, darkness. Talk about darkness of man's
The
soul.
first time Alex came on, like I didn't know shit about Ethereum, and he was like, "We should talk about it before the podcast," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then like a week later, I saw like this whole Ethereum thing blowing up, and I was like, "This is fucking crazy!" And I got on board. I got on the train. Alex just got on the train at a really good point.
I hitched a ride on the train just now. I'm one of the hobos who, rides the train. I threw my sack onto the back of the train. I'm on the train now.
You're one of those rich Holden Caulfield types that are like, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna train hop and do heroin in the coal car. Like,
well, Holden Caulfield did not do hair, but
no, but they're all like rich fucks that are, they're all like white people. Anyway,
train hoppers. I meant in like the Great Depression sense.
Oh, I meant like today.
Okay, this metaphor, it's not Alex. Cryptocurrency. Ethereum. What is it?
Yeah.
Ethereum.
As far as I know, and I'm no expert, but as far as I know, it is a technology that has been bought into by a lot of major companies, based in like a very robust blockchain, like Bitcoin, not unlike Bitcoin, but a far more robust, far more secure, and a lot of major companies are adopting it, technology specifically. And right now, just like any other cryptocurrency, it is being traded on like specific markets that have like fiat value. Fiat's meaning like actual dollars, like actual currency.
Right.
Whereas, and so you can like any stock or investment, you can buy it at a certain value and then sell it at another value.
It's the same thing you can do with like the dollar or like the euro, right? Like the euro now costs X amount of dollars. You buy into it. If the value goes up, you can sell it, and then if there's demand for what you're selling, someone buys it at the price that you want to sell it at, and you make money off it. It's the same idea.
Mm-hmm. That's the notion of it. And
the blockchain thing, we should talk about that a little bit more, Alex, because the blockchain thing, that's where Bitcoin started. It's where all these cryptocurrencies have kind of like a common thread.
Yep.
So I guess since I interrupted you, I'll explain it. So the way I understand the blockchain is that there is a constant amount of it's so hard to explain the concept. The mining behind it is all these computers are going through all this data and constantly effectively acting as both simultaneously a mint and an accountant, meaning that as you're mining, you are processing transactions and identifying tokens as they're going through the system, as well as if there's demand for them, you will mine or like print another coin, another instance of a coin, kind of like $1 would be printed at the Fed. And the blockchain thing is interesting just because it is both encrypted but also open source.
I don't know that much. I wish I did.
Yeah. So you can have any identity. Like it'll say like X identity did this, but the identity is only in like a blockchain number language or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which is, and then it's open source, so the open ledger is anyone can access it. Anyway, I probably fucked part of that up. You can get at me on Twitter and yell at me.
That's cool though. I mean, I didn't know the nuances of it. Even though it doesn't sound like nuances, this just sounds like what it is. But good to know. Great to understand what it is. It's something I've been actively investing in.
Yeah. I mean, we've both been talking about what makes Ethereum different than Bitcoin is the technology specifically. So Bitcoin, you are able to perform contracts, through Bitcoin. But with Ethereum, the way you write up contracts is in its own language that is just naturally part of the system, so it like works a lot better than Bitcoin does. Which is why a lot of people are hyping Ethereum over Bitcoin at the moment. In addition to the fact that mining Bitcoin is very processor intensive. So if you're going to make a profit mining Bitcoin, you have to have like a fuck ton of CPUs daisy chained, and that just isn't feasible for most people. Whereas the way that Ethereum is written such that
GPUs, right?
Yeah, it takes advantage of graphics cards, of GPUs, and so those are a lot cheaper and a lot easier to daisy chain on a motherboard. So if you get like 6 or 7 of those bitches, you just daisy chain them and you can make a decent amount of money. Right. To the point where graphics cards now are being sold out like fucking everywhere. Like I was looking into the reason I got into this is because my boss brought it up, and then I got really interested, and we were like, hey, let's get our bosses to like invest in a like mining like a mining rig, and then they'll fund it and we can make some fucking bills off that shit. And I was looking up, I was looking into cards, and this was like a month and a half ago, and it's still true now. Cards are sold out. Graphics card, it's hard to get more than one of any particular card, and for this you need 6 or 7 of the same exact model. So it's damn near impossible unless you want to pay like $700 a fucking pop at this point. So Ethereum mining is the reason that it's hard to buy a graphics card right now.
Wait, how does this work again? I'm sorry. How does it work through the graphics card?
What part?
Like, how does the GPU factor into the mining?
So the mining is when we take shots.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest, I tuned out there for a minute.
Okay, so let's pour the shot, and I'll explain the shot. This is why I had that article pulled up, but then I fucking closed it, just so I could, like, read their explanation instead of using my jumbled brain one. Okay, you guys count down. I'm ready when you are.
Alex, you go ahead.
3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud. Ha. Okay. So, Eric, you just don't even know what any of this is right now.
I really no.
So cryptocurrencies are based off...
I can learn things, can I? On this
cryptocurrencies
podcast?
are based off an idea of what's called a blockchain. A blockchain is this like open source, open ledger, but like identity hiding system. And the way that this open ledger system works is that it pools, and also a really big deal in this whole cryptocurrency thing, it pools computing power. And so when you have computing power behind your currency, it makes that currency stronger. And the way that they reward people for joining into this computing pool early on is rewarding you with money per amount computed that you've contributed. And this is true across, from what I understand, every cryptocurrency. If you contribute your computing power to the whole, you get a little piece of the pie. That's, explain like I'm 5, best attempt at it right now.
Tell you what, I get it now.
Yeah, and so the computing power
I'm
is
an
used
expert
for that.
now.
And the reason GPUs...
Why are you fucking smiling, Alex? I'm an expert now, okay?
Because you're...
I'll never smile again.
He's laughing
Assign
at you.
me to the Export-Import Bank. I'm ready.
Oh,
let's go.
This guy. But yeah, so that's why you have, GPUs tethered up.
Okay.
And that's why there are, Bitcoin farms, as there were mining farms. Yeah. So Ethereum is different in that it has these smart contracts that are really interesting, and the smart contracts do not exist in the Bitcoin world, at least not natively. And the beauty of it is that these decentralized smart contracts. And so, like, you and me, Eric, let's say, we want to make a deal that when this thing fires, and we write this contract in code, when this thing happens, it'll trigger X in code, and this money will get sent from me to you for this service, that was triggered. This is something that hasn't been done in cryptocurrencies yet, at least not this effectively and this well. And so it's kind of groundbreaking. And that's just one piece of what makes Ethereum powerful compared to Bitcoin or the competitors. The That said, Alex and I have been riding this like wave of up and down.
I mean, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Look at my notes on Ethereum. The volatility is the most noteworthy thing about it, from a financial
Your first
perspective.
note is quote unquote volatile AF.
Yeah. Okay.
As
so
fuck.
like, when we first had Alex on the
I believe.
podcast, it was probably around 200 ish, maybe a little higher. A week or two later, maybe 3 weeks later, shot up to about a high of 350, 360.
It went up to 400 at one point.
It went up to it was like it didn't touch 400, but it was like right there. It was like a 390 something, I think. And where is it now? It's like in the 220s. It's been all
hovering
over
for
the fucking
220s.
place.
Yeah, but last week another thing. Last week it was at 130. Remember we were talking about how far down. Like I should have sold at like 240 and then bought back at like 130.
It was at like 143, and then like I remember in the morning I was like, "Fuck, I missed it."
Yeah, that would have been that was crazy. I think it's going to happen again this weekend. Actually, I'm predicting it's going to go down a lot, and that's when you should buy it.
What's funny is I work in a financial company. I'm the only like fucking designer at my job, and all these traders, these like professional like futures and stocks and options traders, and even like my supervisor, like casually trades, and they're all kind of like laughing at it because this is like what they do on a daily basis is like trade markets and make profit.
Wait, they're laughing at what?
At the fact that like Ethereum is so hyped right now, just in general. And I think technologically it's warranted, but in terms of like the market being up and down all over the place, like we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Well, like I mean, honestly, like to say anything with confidence is a joke, right? You can't, but you can make predictions.
It's folly. It's folly, Alex.
It is sure. It's folly. I like that word. I like your word.
I had no point to make. I just wanted to interject the word folly.
That's
into
what's
your
folly.
point. Please continue. Sorry.
No, it is, and I think you have to go into it knowing that it's gonna go up and down, and that like in the long term it probably will go up a lot, like an enormous amount. But like you have to not, if you're willing to invest in the beginning and hold out, you just have to not panic sell. I think that's like a big skill, like to not, because it basically just don't invest more than you can afford to lose,
Right.
and then you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, generally it's just really interesting. There's a lot to be said about it. There's so
But
much.
we've said enough, so
No, yeah, I agree. It's just there's so much behind it. It's very interesting. Just technologically, I personally believe, and I think Alex agrees, that at some point it will surpass Bitcoin, just because it does a lot more. Like it is far more powerful as a technology than Bitcoin is.
Yeah, the tech is better, but also like huge investors are coming in, like are buying into the tech. IBM did, MasterCard. There's a lot of momentum.
Right. Yeah. Okay, we can move on. Eric's bored out of his mind.
No. Actually, can I ask a question? Just a prediction.
Not allowed.
Please.
Not allowed. In 5 years, do we have more or less different currencies
More.
of cryptocurrency? More?
Infinitely.
Or will it consolidate? Is what I'm really
Well,
It's
asking.
not going to consolidate.
There's no way. There's
One called Monero that's like specifically used for the dark web. Like there are niches for all these things. Monero's like popping right now for like whatever is the new Silk Road. I don't know if it's Silk Road 2.0. I don't know what the fuck it is. You know, Monero, because it is like super privacy and encryption focused, so it keeps everyone's shit as private as possible, so the feds can't come and like investigate you. So that one is for like the dark web, shady things on the internet. And there are so many others, like Litecoin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin has been a thing for a while.
But Dogecoin is like a joke. It doesn't have any value.
No, but it's so funny.
It is funny. There is no doubt about that.
Like
But Litecoin is one of the 3 things that Coinbase tracks.
Yep.
So
Okay, so there's going to be more. You both agree there'll be like more currencies.
there are so many. There are, and actually, speaking of cryptocurrencies, it's gonna overlap into the fashion world. I think at some point, when like wearable tech to like have wallets wallets that because I think eventually all what do you call it all money will be digital, and that's just some time down the line. But
Isn't it already? Like technically.
no, yeah, but I feel like just cash will be obsolete at some point soon.
I mean, like credit. Do you consider credit cards digital?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of cash-only places. Maybe they're only in my neighborhood, but it feels like they're out there. People like that, those George Washingtons, those Abe Lincolns.
Those tax evaders, yeah.
Like my Benjamins.
So, you just call them tax evaders? Two of our nation's greatest presidents?
No,
it's probably true.
If you're cash only, you don't have to report all the cash. Like, how can you possibly?
That's probably it.
You're talking about the businesses.
Yes.
I thought you were called George Washington and Abraham Lincoln tax evaders. No. I was like, what?
You don't know.
No.
Some wild shit you're throwing out there.
You don't know.
Okay. Speaking of wild shit, Google Glass back.
Wild.
It's back.
Google Glass, what? That's wild, son. People totally care about this product.
Bro.
What's happening with Google Glass?
What everybody's been asking for, Google Glass.
So Google Glass got a really big firmware update recently. I think we talked about it in the last episode, actually.
Yeah.
So this firmware update targets
nobody wants this.
Factories, apparently.
So, no. I think it was just a regular firmware update. Like, it wasn't so crazy, but, what we've learned more recently is that they are launching an entirely rebranded new product called Google Glass. Are you ready for this?
Crazy so far.
Enterprise Edition.
What's with
editions? What's up with editions right now?
I hate this.
Samsung Note 7 Edition.
I like the word edition.
Google Glass
Apple just named a watch the edition. Like, they didn't put it wasn't like blank edition. It was just the Apple Watch edition. Like that was the fancy one. That was the gold and rose gold Apple Watch.
I despise that. Anyway, so oh.
Yay.
Quick kiss for his honey.
Yay.
God, I'm sweating like a fucking pig. Jesus Christ.
Ever since you don't turn it AC,
to my world. I am the worst Cuban.
Bitterly muttered.
I sweat like when it's 70 degrees in air conditioning, let alone in what would be Cuban heat and humidity. Like, I'm the worst Cuban.
Or you're the best Cuban.
Or I'm the best.
Show me your moves.
Depends on how you see sweat.
Show me your moves. Let's go.
Whoa.
Show me. Let's go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Tequila.
I really wanted to get like a soundboard that I can install on my computer, and then like every time we take a shot, play the shot song by LMFAO.
Not the whole song.
But you can't do that. It's like
that's the entire song.
It's like very not allowed.
Wait, the 3 minutes and 12 seconds or whatever.
That would be really fucking.
That would be annoying as fuck.
Yeah, we have to like talk over it for like 3 minutes and.
Yeah.
No, but even like a snippet of a song without permission is highly illegal. We would get sued.
Oh, I see.
We can't do that.
The lawyers of LMFAO are highly litigious.
Probably.
Yeah. So Google Glass Enterprise Edition, it's actually already being used in factories at a couple companies.
Oh.
Boeing, making airplanes.
Yeah, okay, so factories.
Packages. GE. So
DHL.
What's better about this? DHL? Yeah. What did I didn't say DHL? I thought I did. Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, yes.
I appreciate that. So what's better? What's better about this edition, this Enterprise Edition? It's got a better camera, between 5 and 8 megapixels, so they say. Faster processor, better battery life, blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously. Like, how couldn't they be better?
Okay, so
after,
they
what
updated
years?
shit. But what's the takeaway here?
The takeaway here is that why are they doing this? Because, like, do they feel like Glasses has found its destiny not as a consumer product because it looks fucking stupid, and that they want to sell to businesses because they feel like they've had success selling Chromebooks to a classroom and they want to try something along those lines?
Well, apparently it's been useful in this context, though, which is what I don't get. Like, how has it been useful?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, why? Like, so I'm working in like a Boeing factory. I'm assembling an airplane. Like, do I want to see like a Google Drive document?
Yes,
Or,
I do.
like saying like I'm doing something wrong, or
Wait,
like,
but everything you've read about this doesn't talk about like how it's useful in these contexts.
oh my
Like,
god,
did you get anything
no.
about it? I haven't gotten anything out of it just from skimming. That's why
This
I'm
is
asking.
this is still early.
I see. So no one knows if this is actually something useful.
Oh no, I'm sorry if I misled. Like, it's an announcement. It's an I misled.
See, I thought it was
This
already
is an
like.
announcement, but they have been using them at these companies. Do we know what they look like and in what context are they being used? We don't know that.
And why was it announced to the public if it's an enterprise product? If it's a B2B thing, then why do we
Maybe
even
they
care about it?
want other bees to sign on.
Yeah, B. Think about that.
No, you're right, but like then the marketing that's getting to us feels like misplaced and like too much money to be paid. Like, how is it? Why do we know about this then?
Look, you are thinking of Google as if they market things brilliantly and strategically like Apple. They are not
don't.
Apple.
In a lot of top-down fashion.
That is
Incorrect.
not a thing.
Right.
They just
okay.
kind of do things willy-nilly.
So it's entirely possible this is just coming out of their like Google X Lab or whatever and saying like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we finished this. Like, look."
Someone
You know?
once described the Google X Lab to me as they just throw shit like a million things on the at the wall and see what sticks. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
They,
what's
like-
happening right now.
Because they have so
Yeah.
much money to experiment that they
Should be
just
fair,
go,
the X Labs, since Alphabet has become the holding company for Google, the X Labs have been scaled back significantly. And
they had like infinite money.
they're trying to slowly, gradually, strategically become more Apple-like, and it's a slow process. But the X Labs obviously still exist to some degree.
But I support experimentation. I support like
No, they're great. It's just most of that experimentation is now under the Alphabet wing as opposed to like inside Google.
well, what are the implications for that in a practical sense? Does that mean there's going to be less interesting things?
So
sometimes?
that, for instance, that means that like the automated driving, instead of being like Google branded, was spun out into its own company to try to to leave it to float or sink of its
But
own.
the tech is the same. The tech is the same. It's not like different tech, right?
What do you mean by that?
Like, just because it's its own company doesn't mean it's less like Google backed or less like validated by the Google tech.
Yeah,
team.
the lines are still gray. They're just less gray than they were before.
Wait, gray in what sense? Wait,
Gray
which
in
lines?
the sense of like where Google ends and where this new thing begins, because Alphabet is still treated as Google to a certain degree, even though it's the holding company of Google and all these other spin-off companies.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Alphabet. It's really confusing and boring.
It's perfectly understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like once Google or Alphabet have like a viable thing, Alphabet wants to spin it off as its own thing to float or sink on its own accord and not be
I
backed
see.
by Google money. Anyway,
Okay.
point being, the X Labs don't have as much money as they used to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And they're trying to
Good,
become
good.
more Apple-like. But so there are companies that already have had this new Google Glass edition, and I mean, like, what's the verdict? Like, are they good? Are they bad? There's no verdict yet.
No. No, there's not. There's not. The point of me bringing this up is to validate 2 weeks ago when I was like, why is there a firmware update? Well, this
Yeah.
is why.
Yeah, right.
That's
And
why I
Alex,
bring this up.
to your point, I feel like the reason that they're like putting this out there is just so people can stop laughing at glass. It's like
Then that means they were way too self-conscious about it.
Seriously, dude. They should just give it up. Just
they should,
shrug it off.
or like develop it into an actual fucking product, please.
Oh, what's
Speaking
the
of
Like-
things that
Francis?
should be given up and never should have happened,
Oh,
let's talk about Bixby.
good transition.
I'm a podcast host, not a guest.
That's
Alex.
right. He just called you out, son. You're gonna take that? You gonna take that lying down?
He just. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he just put a hat on. You would have.
Visual.
You would have. Is that a fucking? It's not a fedora.
You
is it?
audio listeners, tune into these Facebook live streams, man. You miss stuff like hats
Gag jokes. Visual.
Wry smiles, very wry smiles all the time.
Points.
Riposts. No, they could hear the witty.
Riposte.
They could hear that.
When I said points, I meant like physical.
That's a word?
Oh, pointing at the yeah. What is riposte a word? Yes.
It's a great. I didn't say that. Who said riposte?
Me. I'm just asking. I'd never heard that.
I'm on a French kick today. I'm saying a lot of French words. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
anyway, Bixby sucks.
There have been so many great headlines that I've seen come out of it. So
what is Bixby?
Bixby is Samsung's competitor to like Google Assistant or Siri or Alexa or whatever. That they baked into their Samsung S8 and put like a dedicated button on. Like they put a dedicated button on the S8 just to launch Bixby. And Bixby finally shipped to the Samsung S8 very recently, I believe in the last week or so. Months late. The headlines have been amazing. Like one of which was better never than late.
I love that. That's amazing.
There was one. Here's a great headline. Samsung's AI Bixby is finally available in the U.S. months late, but hey, at least it doesn't explode.
Wow, that is a brave review.
So this competitor falls flat against what you can get on the Samsung S8 already, which is Google Assistant. Like it's already built into Android. Samsung is really good at taking Google's products and copying them really fucking shittily. Or Apple's products. They'll copy Google and Apple's products, bake a Samsung equivalent into Android that already has a Google equivalent that does most of those things, and make it really shit. Like Samsung Music, notoriously. Shit like that.
Why are they doing this to us again, man? Like, why? What made them think that? What was it called? TouchWiz? That's the name of their interface, right?
Yes, TouchWiz.
Right, Dan?
That is what it's called.
TouchWiz, which is like a facsimile of Android, and like everybody hates TouchWiz. Like, why can't it just be stock?
Well, so
everybody wants stock.
Alex might not
Android.
be familiar with it, but like so like stock Android is what Google releases, and then all these manufacturers will take stock Android and then like skin it to make it like their own branded experience. And up until this phone, apparently this phone's version of TouchWiz is not that bad at all. But up until this phone,
Samsung's been good for like the past like 2 generations of their smartphones.
Sure, but TouchWiz was garbage before, in my opinion, on the Note 7 even and before.
I wouldn't say garbage. I would say like less noticeably bad and acceptable. As someone who has a Samsung S6 as their phone, I find TouchWiz to be pared down. But what I'm trying to say is like,
TouchWiz apologist here.
I feel like fine, I'll take that label. I feel like they're backsliding with this whole Bixby move. Like, why did they feel like they needed to dip their toe back into software when they've been historically proven as quite bad at this?
Well, no, and here's the other story. They bought the company that made Siri and sold Siri to Apple, and then they spun off a new company called Viv, and it's shot time. I'm going to pour this shot, and I'm going to finish what I'm saying because it's quick. They spun off the people who made Siri and sold it to Apple, spun off a new company called Viv. Samsung bought Viv in the recent past, I want to say in the last year or two. This isn't a Viv product. This is a Samsung thing. So it's not from the people who made Siri and are reportedly working on some like crazy advanced voice assistant AI. Even though Samsung owns them and could take whatever they're doing, even if it's in beta form, and bake it into their own phones. They're putting this half-baked, non-Viv related bullshit. It sounds like a little like it sounds like a butler. Bixby? What does that mean? Like, what is Bixby? What is that?
Well,
Bixby.
Sound like a butler sounds like appropriate because it's what it is, but it's a terrible name.
Yeah. I said last time, I literally thought, because like I misinterpreted what the Vergecast was saying. Shouts to the Verge, good reporting. I thought Bixby was actually a dog butler. That's what I thought, but it's not actually.
That would be cute as from like a brand.
Wouldn't that be cute?
That would be a really good brand.
That's a good brand move. Okay. Cool.
I love dogs.
Okay, shot time. 3, 2, 1, shot, go. Woo! Alcoholism. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So Bixby's a fucking failure. Let's move on. I don't want to harp on this train anymore.
Can we talk about something like the new Mario game?
Oh, I mean,
We
what do you
have-
want to talk about?
Alex going all off docket here.
No,
I know.
We got an outline, man. Like,
Well, that's what happens. Like 6 shots in, I'm about to talk about shit that I want to talk about.
Okay. How about this, Alex?
All right.
The Atari box. I know Eric has some feelings.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, not a lot.
Oh, really?
It's not going to be as good.
It's not going to be as good as Nintendo, which segues flawlessly into.
Wait 1 second. The Atari box. It's going to be.
Alex just unintentionally pointed at Eric's screen, like while he was talking to Eric. So
Yeah.
I
definitely. Yeah,
It was great.
I would definitely be able to see that for sure.
It's like this guy. That was great.
Oh, you know what? Geez, they don't even have pricing up for this thing yet. All right, well, the Atari box is an attempt to be Atari's version. Atari, one of the oldest gaming companies we have. They've been in a bit of a slump for the past, 15 years.
Longer.
Maybe longer. And they're re-releasing something called an Atari box. I guess it's going to be ready by holidays. We don't even have a price point on this yet, but it looks pretty slick. I mean, it's got like wood paneling on it. They're going to be having some classic games on there. We don't have a game lineup yet, but it is like a blatant like copying of what Nintendo did last year with the Nintendo Classic, where they repackaged a lot of classic games in a
Like
small. What's that?
Like blatant, like 100%.
Yeah. They just put like they blatantly copied it.
Can I say it looks slick as fuck though?
It looks very cool.
It looks so good.
Here's the problem though: Atari does not have the same cultural cachet or games library
no.
that Nintendo does in the slightest. So this is gonna fail. That's all. That's it. You know.
It looks
whatever.
so
This is gonna
good
be bad.
though. Like
It looks great.
It
It
looks-
looks great.
it looks,
But like,
I just
what
want it
games
as a
can it be on?
mantelpiece.
Listen, like, what are we playing on here? Asteroids?
This does look fucking cool, though. Holy shit.
Doesn't it look good?
That's pretty fucking sick, though.
It
Holy
looks so good. It looks like I just want to put it on my mantle.
Why does this not exist for every system? Why does it take a shitty, like, copy for
Man,
back for a video game system?
I don't know. It's a good
That's
question.
weird. Did my audio just get a lot worse?
It
Yeah.
got so bad. What happened?
Okay, here, I don't know what happened, but I think because I took my headphones out, it fucked it up. Let me go back. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it right now.
It is horrific.
There it is. There it is.
Yikes.
Better?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, all better.
It
Thank you.
literally sounds like
I ju-
we're talking underwater to one another every time you do that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm done with the Atari box. NES Classic.
It looks so
whatever.
good though.
Nintendo.
It does look good. You know what's, like, my most embarrassing moment? When I bought an Ouya.
What the fuck is that?
What? A what?
Do you remember the fucking Ouya? You don't remember this?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
This was a huge thing. This was a Kickstarter backed product, video game system. It was like $100, and it was open source. And the controller was designed by Philippe Stark, one of the most like prolific and well renowned industrial designers of our time. Designed the controller. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna get in on this in the ground stages, and it was like complete shit, and no one took tips for it. And that was like, like it looked so cool, and the system looked great, and they had this like slick video, and it got like a huge backing, and they sent it out, and I have it, and I used it once, and it was a nightmare.
Oh god.
So I want, if whoever's listening to this, like, leave in the comment section your experiences, if any, with Ouya. Even if you have an opinion and you never played it.
I am right now on the Ouya site. I am like looking through the games, and
They're all open source. That's like the problem. Like, there's no real like AAA, game company backing. So there's nothing of like quality, really.
Man.
I mean, there were a few games that were like fine, but like it didn't have any of the
Solitaire?
That's it. That's the game.
That's the game.
Free Cell?
Mine's
The controller does look mildly interesting.
What's it called? Ouya?
Ouya.
Ah.
Ouya
You know what, Alex?
controller.
Your heart and your dollars were in the right place.
Well, I'm not even saying
In
it was
terms
like,
of,
the controller
like-
was pretty ugly.
Oh yeah, this controller does not look good, y'all.
You were like,
Alex,
you
your
were trying to
AirPods
like,
are doing the screechy thing again.
You're trying to fund independent.
AirPods
game.
AirPods plus Skype do not go well together. Apparently,
It's like chirping at us. It's bad.
it's
Wait.
like yelling at us.
All right, I'm gonna try to fix this.
Maybe
Wait, why is their website like so fucking?
Is it bad?
Like, edgy? Why is it trying to be so edgy?
Oh
and
my
so
god!
fucking-
Wait, Alex. I need and
edgy.
Eric. I think you've seen this, which is why I'm not saying that you need to see this. But fuck, what was it called? There was before
I'm
the.
out of alcohol, by the way. I'm sorry.
You're out of
I ran-
alcohol.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This guy.
I ran out. Wasn't that our 6th or 7th shot? How many?
It was our 29th shot.
It was our 6th shot. It was our 29th shot. You're right.
Okay,
Well,
I need to show you
okay,
guys something.
Wait. I feel like we're getting caught up. Like, Alex, did you want to talk about Mario? Like, Dan, do you want to talk about Pokemon Go? Like,
I don't want to talk
let's just
about
move
Pokemon.
on to
Pokemon
it.
Go is fucking stupid.
Okay, let's talk about that then. Pokemon Go.
Why not Mario? Fuck you.
We're fine.
Hey man, your headphones are chirping at us. I don't wanna... Wait, okay.
Literally. Wait. You want me to
Real
take them out?
quick, did you guys see? Oh, there it is again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no! Do I have to fix it again? Fuck.
Your headphones are yelling at us.
I don't want to get yelled at.
This is the best live stream ever.
I'm already sweating profusely. I don't need to be yelled at right now. I just checked weather.com. Humidity is 60% here.
I don't even want to check weather.com.
High fair city of New York City.
Eric, check the Zencaster chat. I linked something that I want you to look at. And then Alex, I want you to look at it as well once you're done like futzing with your shit over there.
Oh, is it better?
I love this. I love this. I love this.
This was before the NES Classic. People made this.
This looks great. I love this.
Okay, so once you've looked through this main version I've linked, it looks dope. Scroll to the top. Okay, for everyone who's wondering what the fuck we're looking at, look up Analog NES, like Nintendo Entertainment System. They made, before the NES Classic came out, they made this really dope, but just scavenging NES parts, this really dope console that had everything you needed, like HDMI port, etc., etc. It's beautiful. It's pretty well designed. If you scroll up, guys, now that you've seen the regular version, to the right of the regular version in the menu, there's a 24-karat gold version.
What?
Oh man, I'm just like honestly,
Solid
I'm bugging out over just seeing all of this cover art again, all this game art. My God, I had all these games. Growing up. Smash TV, Paperboy, Double Dragon. Holy fuck, Mega Man 2. The great thing about Mega Man games is like the game cover art never looked anything like Mega Man. Just like a guy in blue. It's so good. He's like a grown-ass man.
Dreamcast.
Overrated?
Just
Just
Underrated.
Oh,
Underrated.
God.
Just Sonic? Get your fucking ass out.
No!
Show yourself out. What an offensive thing to say to two Dreamcast fans.
Alex, first off, still hearing chirping from you.
yeah.
First off, get the fuck out also.
Second, you're 100% correct.
Oh my
And
god. It's like
did I tell you?
the song of a swallow is coming out of your Apple AirPods.
And can you fix this in post or what? Like, is this fixable?
I don't even know.
This is
About to find out later.
It's horrible.
No, yeah.
Alex, second off, you're 100% correct. Did I tell you that I got Power Stone 2 like a year or two ago? Did I tell you that? I forgot I did.
I mean, I love Power Stone too. I love both of them.
For Dreamcast. So many great games for Dreamcast, Dan. You're a fucking fool. Never give an opinion again. Goodbye.
Like, okay, let's just name the obviously Sonic, Power Stone 2, Soul Calibur, Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio, these entire franchises.
Shot Time Radio. That's the name of this episode. Shot Time Radio.
Crazy Taxi was phenomenal, and it was graphically, it was way ahead of its time.
Oh my god.
Okay, Eric, just pretend to take a shot for me.
Sure, no problem. More Dreamcast games. There are definitely more Dreamcast games that were.
Shenmue. I bought you the second one, didn't I? Feel like I did.
God damn it! All right, cheers, you motherfuckers. Even though only Alex is drinking with me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it.
We had too many topics today, actually.
I'm okay with
There's
that.
a lot to talk about. I mean, we didn't even talk about, Facebook's planning on selling a $200 Oculus Rift. That could be cool. I guess we'll save that for when they actually announce it. But
yeah, we can talk about that next time, too. Anyway.
I have a friend who works at Facebook in the Oculus Rift division. I can ask him about it.
You could have them come on the show.
Yeah.
Cliff, he doesn't have any time. He's getting married, and he works at Facebook, so he doesn't know life, brother.
Cliff. I met him.
Cliff?
Yeah.
Super
Frisbee,
tall
right?
dude. Yes, Frisbee, yes.
He's getting married?
He's getting married in September. No, he's getting married his bachelor party. We shouldn't talk about this right now, but yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Let's get all the details.
All the details. I'm cutting this out of the audio podcast for sure.
The Oculus.
Yeah. He works in
Does he like tequila?
No, he likes weed, though.
Okay, that's the same. That's almost the same. I mean, some would say that's the same.
Okay.
People are saying.
Video listeners, I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you for